Hello and welcome to the show. We're coming to you again from Performance Technique. You'll find out why later. But before that, there's something going on here because I'm here at Performance Technique in South Africa where the two frail care patients are over in Portugal without me. Again.
Travel to any city in Europe and it seems like everybody is riding a motorbike. But it's not the big motorbikes you expect them to ride in South Africa. Everyone's on a scooter here.
Yeah, and that's not much of a surprise. Maxi scooters are big business in Europe and big business around the world. Believe it or not, they're worth at least 40,000 units a year. So, unsurprisingly, BMW wants a slice of the action. Now, it's brought out the C400X and the C400 GT, a slightly more touring version of that scooter, and they're about to be introduced into South Africa.
The thing is, the South Africans, well, they look at distance that we have to travel in South Africa and they seem to think that these aren't really up to the job. But in fact, they're wrong.
And we're about to prove why.
Though you can't see them, both scooters have a tubular steel frame underneath all the pretty bodywork. And that holds the 350cc single-cylinder engine that is similar to the G310R naked commuter bike.
The bodywork on both is very funky, though I'd have to say that I prefer the looks of the GT version. Both models get ABS and a traction control system, which might sound like overkill on a scooter, but really isn't.
And because you, being a 21st century human being, will need to stay connected even while scootering. You can operate your phone via the handlebar switchgear and a lovely big colour TFT screen. Obviously, I'm more of a mid-20th century kind of guy, so my phone stays unanswered in my pocket.
This scenic holiday area is just to the west of Lisbon, and its range of busy city streets, highway and ancient narrow back alleys is a perfect test for bikes designed to make congestion fun. Scooters, above all, have to be easy to ride, and these two are exactly that, with perfect throttle response mated to a slick CVT transmission that means you just twist and go.
The engine may only have the one cylinder, but it's still smooth and is good enough for 34 horsepower. That may not sound like much, but it's more than enough to beat most things away from the lights. It's grunty and responsive enough to zip between gaps in the traffic too. And then when you need to stop in a hurry, there's some proper braking with the backup of ABS.
So they're definitely fun to ride for even a beginner rider, but this is a scooter, so it simply has to be practical as well. And these are. There's a charging point for your phone, you can use the sat-nav via the integrated dash, so no getting lost, and then when you stop, there's a handy under-seat storage for your helmet. Try doing that on a superbike.
My sort of practicality involves warm extremities, and with heated grips and seats on this GT and some extra weather protection, this will be a very nice place to be, even when the sun isn't shining. If you get a version with keyless entry, then you don't even have to fiddle around for a key every time you hop on and off. Just sit down, press the starter button, and away you go.
If you want to beat the traffic and have some fun doing it, then the C400 scooters are perfect for the job. Friendly enough for a beginner to ride, enjoyable for the more experienced, and practical in a way proper motorbikes struggle to match.
You may not live in a picturesque seaside town in Portugal, but what makes it great here would also make it great in whichever urban jungle you happen to live. Take the GT version and you can even think about tackling some of South Africa's endless open roads.
I enjoyed that. Lisbon. Ooh. It's nice. Actually, this isn't Lisbon, this is, I'm going for it again, Cascais.
But it does turn out that the Europeans have got it bang on. A scooter, or a maxi scooter, is exactly the right thing you want in a city.
Yeah, completely. So if you look at the suburbs, if you commute from the suburbs into the city and you've got a little bit of highway work, more than enough. I mean, 34 horsepower doesn't sound a lot, but it is. It's more than enough for the job. And in terms of acceleration, really brisk. So away from the lights, you're beating everything anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. You just, and again, twist and go, no gears to mess around. Why would you want a big bike?
And they've managed to nail the agility, which scooters need to have, obviously, with a decent amount of stability. So they feel really safe, well, it's really easy to ride.
Low centre of gravity.
Yeah.
Brakes are fantastic. You know, you've got lever for front and back brake, and you anchor on, ABS is going to stop you falling off. They're fantastic. Traction control works brilliantly on the slippery cobbles that you often get around here.
Yeah,
The Europeans,
I mean, look, you can't have a car in many European cities. It just simply isn't practical. And what we did today, beautiful, tiny little street.
tiny little
But even a
streets.
big bike would be too much.
Oh, if you imagine a big GS or even a sports bike through there, you just don't
Who
need
needs
it.
all that hassle with gears and stuff when you can go twist and go and just enjoy life? So we know the 400X is definitely coming to South Africa. Hopefully the GT will follow on. Is South Africa ready? Well, it should be, because maxi scooters like this, they make the ideal transport.
Well, didn't that look fun? I hope you lot ate some really bad paella.
It's a really good pie.
Some lovely paella,
There's lovely fish restaurants down by the
Utterly
harbour there,
delicious, and a lot of garlic, but
All right, enough now. You rode some scooters, new BMW. They're trying the scooter thing again. It looked like it worked well in Lisbon, but we know Europe and South Africa are not the same thing.
No,
they are not.
less sun there as a rule. But I know what you're saying. In that sort of tight, urban, congested environment, they were brilliant, weren't they?
Oh,
I mean, you wouldn't want anything else. There's nothing that's as easy as twist and go, BMW quality, practicalities like luggage space. Having said that, yeah, you're right. They've never really caught on in South Africa, and I don't know why.
It's the macho thing about bikers here. No, they won't admit to liking a scooter because they could have a big bike,
Yes.
even though it's completely impractical for
Why
what
do you
they
say
want to
big
use.
bike?
Whoa, hang on. How much are these going to cost?
124,700 for the X.
Yes.
We don't know
Right.
about the GT. It's not. We don't know.
It
even
will
know
be
it's-
more.
It will be more.
Okay,
But it's
hang on.
not even here yet.
120,000 Rand for a scooter. Later on,
Yes.
we're going to be featuring
We say
a
for a
really...
scooter,
No,
like
just
it's
calm-
a scooter.
Just, no, seriously, because later on, we're going to feature a proper motorcycle for 90,000 Rand. Explain,
You
Jesse.
see, there, in a nutshell, you have
Yes.
it. A
Look,
proper motorcycle.
There are people who've got money and want easy transport and a quality product, which the BMW badge brings you. And 120 grand is also, by the way, the same price as Honda have brought out a little adventure bike that we will feature on the show shortly. Don't want to give anything away, but that's 120 grand. Which would you rather have?
BMW.
Yes, I'd have the scooter.
You're both weird.
Pricing is relative, isn't it?
It is relative. And look, I agree. In South Africa, it's probably not going to take off. The C650.
I hope it does, though. We need to re-educate. These
We-
are viable,
it should
viable
do.
things.
But it's not going to.
Okay.
As good as it is,
On Harry's positive note, by the way, what should we have, the GT or the standard?
GT.
Looks better,
Much better.
more wind protection.
More sophisticated ergonomics.
You've been
in
reading the brochure again.
I have,
haven't you?
yes.
Okay, well, let's stop with the brochure stuff. Great scooters, hope they do well here. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's cross over to...
An ad break.